Hello, everyone. It is your girl, Nikki Wilde here, and you are watching the Fans View podcast.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Fans View podcast. This week, I am very excited to bring someone who brings the intensity, she brings the authenticity, she brings the attitude everywhere she goes, every ring she steps in. I am so excited to bring this up-and-comer onto the show today. Please welcome tonight's guest, Miss Nikki Wilde. Nikki, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. I can't complain. Another day. And another day closer to Christmas.
Oh, exactly.
I'm so excited to have you on the show. I love having up-and-coming, hungry, independent talent on the show, and I really feel like you fit that bill to a T. Let's start at the beginning. Obviously, that's the natural place to start. When did professional wrestling first grab you? Were you kind of a lifelong fan, or is it something you kind of found later in life?
Definitely a lifelong fan. To be honest, I say this to a lot of people and they don't believe me, but if I think back to my earliest memory in childhood, it was wrestling. I remember looking up at the TV and seeing Monday Night Raw. My dad's in the kitchen cooking. I remember it so vividly. I even remember that it was AJ Lee. But my whole life, I loved it. And it was kind of a thing that I was embarrassed of most of my life, because I'm a girl, and that was like, all the dudes were into that. It was kind of like, oh, I should be into pink and girly stuff, but I want to beat people up. And that was a little different, but I always wanted to do it. And then as soon as I hit college, I applied to wrestling school, and here we are.
I love it. And you mentioned AJ Lee. Were there some wrestlers specifically that kind of like made you say to yourself, like, I want to do this, I can do this?
Oh, absolutely. So my dad was a lifelong fan too. We watched a lot of old tapes. We even had a VHS player with old ECW, things like that. And I loved, big fan of Lita. I loved Chyna. Obviously Trish Stratus, but AJ Lee, especially the women who weren't afraid to beat some high end, some women who brought it. That's what brought me in.
I love that. Was there a specific moment where it kind of clicked, where you're like, man, I enjoy this and I love watching it, but like, this is something that I want to pursue?
There's a really funny moment from kindergarten where, like, I told everybody that I wanted to be a wrestler. And I remember my kindergarten teacher was doing the whole, everyone go around the room and say what you want to be when you grow up. And, everybody's saying like detective, brain surgeon, I want to cure cancer. And I'm like, I want to be a WWE superstar. And I meant it, I meant it then, but it kind of discouraged me. And I didn't really find that I knew this was what I was going to do with my life until about middle school. But I remember in middle school listening to Randy Orton's theme song on repeat and doing crunches in my living room, thinking that's how I got there. But even through high school, I went to college for something completely unrelated, but I knew the whole time I was going to be a wrestler. I just had to get there.
I love that. Obviously you eventually found a training school, and what a training school you found. Tell people, for people that don't know, where did you train?
So I actually trained at two schools. Fun fact. I first trained at Ricky Morton's school with Kenzie Page and Casey Kazana, but that was to prepare me for going to Seth Rollins' Black and Brave Academy in Davenport, Iowa. Which was insane.
What was training like? That blows my mind. I didn't even realize you you trained under Mr. Morton. But when you go, obviously a bulk of your training, I would say, came from Black and Brave.
Oh,
What
absolutely.
was what was that first day like? What was the early experience like training? Because it is not all rainbows and butterflies.
They put it to you. And I mean, never in my life have I questioned what I wanted to do. I was like, yes, no matter if there's any girls in my class, if I'm the only one, I'm going to keep going. Nothing can make me quit. Oh my gosh. That first day, and they do it because if you're not serious about it, there's no point in going and going and going. But
Right.
they called it day zero. We're not allowed to really talk about exactly what happens on day zero, but
Fair enough.
it'll make or break you. And it was insane. I remember, so I stayed in a dorm house with the rest of my class who were in Black and Brave. We all got home and laid on the floor, like cold floor. We just laid there in silence. And it was kind of that moment of, oh God, is this really what I want to do? Because I've got 12 more weeks of this.
Yeah.
And I made it, but dang it, they really make you prove it.
That does not surprise me. What surprised you though the most when you finally stepped into a wrestling ring? Was there something that you were like, I didn't realize this?
I didn't realize the aggression that you have to have. I'm in real life outside of wrestling, I'm a bit more timid, I'm very outgoing, but I'm very, very kind. So there's that you're learning how to do all these moves safely, and I don't want to be in someone's ear like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" all the time. And you have to just not be afraid to be aggressive. And that's something that I kind of had to work on because I can bring the aggression, but I also don't want to hurt anybody. So that was something that was kind of like, oh, I gotta figure out how to be nice and be mean at the same time.
And I kind of want to talk about that. I want to talk about, the evolution of Nikki Wilde. How much of that character is your real personality, and how much of that do you have to come up with specifically for professional wrestling?
Honestly, I've wanted to be a wrestler for so long. I've had plenty of time to figure out who I want to be. And I feel like even in my personal life, knowing all my life that I had this dream, I would be in school plays and stuff, and I was Nikki Wilde then. They they knew. I mean, I was a singer in high school. I just put myself out there, but I always remember standing at a curtain whenever I was about to perform, whether it was I did band in high school, I was in bluegrass band as a singer, I did drama, all the things, but there would be that moment behind the curtain where it's like, you're not you right now. You're Nikki Wilde. Go out there and do your thing. So I think a lot of people say that being a wrestler is just an elevated version of yourself.
Right.
That's me. And that means leaning into the parts of yourself that you kind of hide. Like if you're a little bit narcissistic, or if you have confidence, lean into that cockiness, lean into that arrogance, lean into the parts that sometimes you're afraid to show, because the bigger you are, the more it is, the more of a star you can be. So
Right.
I feel like I'm me, just a little bit more. And honestly, sometimes it's a little too easy. It kind of scares me. Ooh,
I respect that. I love that. How has that character kind of changed over time? As you've grown more confident, more experienced, have you seen that character kind of change a little bit?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. I mean, whenever you're first going out in front of a crowd and my character is very cocky. I mean, I'm saying things to the other girls like, you're not as pretty as me. You can't flip your hair like I can. And I mean, I'm mean. But when you're first going in front of a crowd, it's like, I know I'm supposed to be the bad guy, but how are they going to perceive this? How is this going to come across? Is it going to get a reaction? Because that's what we all want at the end of the day. We want that pop. We want that energy, that fuel. And going out there for the first couple of times, it's like, what do I say? how do I act? I don't know. And eventually you just have to, it's a point where you feel free, you know? And I didn't have that for a long time. And even still, some matches I have, I'm like, oh, you didn't have it 100% today. But there's those moments where things just click and you feel completely free to say whatever comes to your mind, even if it sounds stupid. You just gotta let it fly, because that's gonna be your purest character when there's no fear, no hesitation. So it took me a while to get there, but I feel a lot better now.
I love it. I love it. How would you describe, as we kind of look at your in-ring performance, how would you kind of describe your style to someone who's never seen you work before?
I'm working on my top rope move, so the goal is to be a higher flyer. Just not yet. There's sometimes, I mean, I can hit some things, but I get a little bit like, ooh, am I going to fall backwards?
That is a natural feeling, my friend.
And again, you just got to be free. You just got to do it. But I love lucha. I love lucha wrestling. So I love to hit a lot of head scissors, the hurricanranas, the Black Widow into the submission. But I'm really a big fan of submissions in technical wrestling, which I feel like is a certain kind of wrestling crowd. Some people are there to see the big flashy moves, but I love those moments where I can actually out wrestle someone. I can put them in this hold and they don't know how to get out of it. That's what I want. When I can use more than just, I'm going to hit you because I'm big, because I'm not. I'm going to hit you with something that you don't know how to get out of, that you're not on my level. You know what I mean? So that's I love technical wrestling. So if you watch my match, there's probably going to be some weird abdominal stretch that maybe you've never seen before. Just something like that.
I love it. And to kind of put together that character work with that in-ring work, is there an opponent, or even maybe a tag team partner, that has kind of helped you discover yourself and helped you in this journey of becoming the performer that you are?
Absolutely. 100%. My girl, Tess Warren, if you haven't seen her.
That's exactly who I was going to suggest.
Yes, the hot mess Tess. That is my girl. If I didn't have her, genuinely, and watch it, if you ever see her wrestle, she is on. She comes out of the curtain, and she is on from the second she steps out there. And she's not afraid to be loud. She's not afraid to be exactly who that is. And even if that means she's screaming in somebody's face, we love to see it. And seeing that, I was like, whoa, you can take it that far? And she takes it that far. So seeing her just be exactly who she is and getting to wrestle her, and even having her in the corner being like, hit her harder. It's like, okay. But she's my big sister through and through. Like, that girl, I'm hoping to see her soon. I haven't seen her since I got back from Iowa, but she has really shaped who I am as a wrestler, and I am so excited to wrestle with her sometime soon.
I love that. That is definitely going to be a social media clip for people that know me behind the scenes of the podcast. She is the only person that has ever declined our invitation. So she is the Fans View's white whale. We will have her on this podcast.
I believe. So, I'll put in a good word, I swear.
we appreciate you. We're definitely going to put that on social. We're going to butter Tess up a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, you. Yeah, watching this right now. I see you. If you're enjoying what you're watching, I've got one quick favor to ask, and it only takes a second, costs you nothing, and makes a huge difference. If you could go ahead and hit that like button, maybe drop a comment. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed. Doesn't seem like much, but for small creators, it's everything. So let's help more people find this channel and keep the content coming. And honestly, I'm pretty sure the podcast will be really grateful. So if you're having fun, you like what you see, make it official, click those buttons. And the Fans View podcast, we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Independent wrestling, obviously at the level you're at right now, it's a grind. It's rewarding, but it's demanding. What's been the hardest part for you of navigating this wonderful, wacky world of independent wrestling?
I actually, fun fact, I'm married. So I got married at 22, which was just a few
Nice.
months ago. Me and my husband got our own place together. We got our dog over here, Loki. But what a lot of people don't know about independent wrestling is the travel time. You know, I'm
Yes.
on the road days at a time. I mean, he had to take care of everything while I was at Black and Brave for 3 months. You know, he was working two jobs, and I am so blessed and so lucky to have someone who supports me in that way. But having a personal life and having a family, you gotta be tough. And I'm so lucky my husband's tough because I don't know how we would make it if we weren't. But I knew I picked the right person. He knew what he's walking into before we ever got together. I'm gonna be a professional wrestler. I'm gonna make it. You're either in or you're out.
I love it. I love
So
it.
that's definitely a challenge, but we do a great job and he's wonderful.
That's fantastic. How do you stay motivated? Like I said, it's a grind. It's not a lot of fun being on the indie scene. Not that wrestling isn't fun, but just this time of your career is probably going to be the least fun when you look back at it. How do you stay motivated during these slow periods, or when you face a setback or things don't go as planned? What keeps you, pushing forward?
One of the dumbest things that actually, like, it can change my whole day is music. 100%. And with wrestling, you gotta keep a consistent schedule. I'm in the gym at least 4 or 5 days a week, and I'm tracking my protein. I'm really trying to keep track of my diet, trying to get in the best shape of my life every single day. And that's exhausting. But if I wake up in the morning and I'm like, man, I just want a donut, maybe I need to put on my playlist. Maybe I need to listen to my own theme song. And maybe I need to remember who I am. And if I eat that donut, is that really who I'm trying to be? You know? So, kind of, music's like therapy to me. If I'm not in the zone, I can put on some old, oh my goodness, Kelly Kelly, Holla Holla. Let's go. I'm on. that,
I love it. I
I'm
love it.
telling you, that will change my whole day. If I put on Holla Holla, I'm going to have abs by tomorrow. You already know it.
God
So,
bless.
for me, music, 100%.
I love that. You might be the first person that has ever said those words in that exact combination. But hey, to each their own. I respect it. Speaking of Kelly Kelly, she's a perfect representation of fan support and what you can do when the fans get behind you. What does that connection with the fans mean to you? Especially the ones who follow your journey closely, you know, or have been with you from the start.
Oh my goodness. I truly have the most wonderful fans. And I'm sure everyone says that, but I mean it. I could not be more grateful for the fans that I have. I had fans who knew I was going to Black and Brave and would message me weekly, maybe every few days even, just to see how I'm doing, see how I'm keeping up, wondering when I could be at the show that they're going to be close to. I even try to keep track of their birthdays sometimes. Like, if I can make someone's day, or if I can make them feel seen or appreciated, that's everything to me. And a lot of people are in wrestling for themselves. And to a point, like, I have to pay my bills, but my entire purpose is to make a difference and maybe show a little girl that she can be a wrestler. Or even if it's not a wrestler, if she can do that, then I can definitely go be a rocket scientist, Like, whether I'm inspiring them to be in my profession or if I can inspire them to do whatever it is their dream is, that's all I could ever want. So I try to take every fan interaction seriously, because, excuse me, you don't know what you could say that could change someone's day or
Absolutely.
really make a huge difference to them. So I really try to do the most for my fans, and I would give, if I could give them anything in the world, I would, but they
I
just mean
love
so
that.
much to me.
I love that. I really commend you. I like that outlook. Um, as we kind of start to wrap this thing up, another thing we're wrapping up is 2025, and we are staring down the barrel of 2026. What does 2026 look like for Nikki Wilde? What are we chasing in 2026?
A couple things, for sure. First one, Nikki Wilde is getting her first title this year. I don't know where, I don't know when, but it's coming. So everybody better be ready, and they need to be on watch, because I'm coming to your town. I'm flying, I'm driving, whatever it has to be. I'm on the way. So the goal is I'm going to travel as much as I can, and I'm going to try to pick up titles along the way. And honestly, outside of, the flashy parts of wrestling, 2026 is a year that I want to make as many connections as I can. So when I'm out, I really want to meet people, I want to see different parts of the world and see how people's lives are different. And I want to learn. I want to learn as much as I can next year. And I'm going to put the pedal to the metal and do as much as I can next year. So super excited.
I love that. I love that. Well, before we let you go, I have to ask you my two favorite questions. The first of which being, this is the Fans View podcast, so I have to ask you, outside of professional wrestling, what are you a fan of?
I am a big fan of a lot of things. I really like, this is a fun one. I've never said this on a podcast. We'll do that. I'm a big fan of Studio Ghibli movies, if anybody's into that. I love Studio Ghibli. Also really love Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's my jam. Love it.
Love that. See, that I can understand working out to. Holla holla. I don't get it, but again.
Just give it a try. Give it a try. I'm telling you.
You know what? I will. Just for you, Nikki, I will.
Let me know how it looks.
I'll do that. Last but not least, it's my favorite question to ask people is, at this point, obviously you're a young woman, not just of your career, but in your life. How do you define success?
Success is, to me, a measure of being content if you died tomorrow. And I'm early in my career, but I'm so happy with the life I have. I feel pretty successful.
I love that. I love that. That's my favorite question because it really gets to the heart of a person. I really like that. Nikki, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for giving us so much of your time. Tell people where they can get a hold of you, whether it be social media, promoters, where they can buy your stuff, all that fun stuff.
Amazing. You can find me pretty much anywhere. So be on the lookout at Nikki, NIKKIWILDEFR, Nikki Wilde for real, on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
Love it. And do you sell like 8x10s and shirts and all that stuff online, or is that show only?
I actually do. So I just started my first website. It launched about maybe a month and a half ago, but you can find me on shopify.com/Nikki Wilde.
Love it. And I know we talked before we started rolling. You've got a big match coming up, and I want you to tell all the people about it because this thing's going to be a banger.
Oh, yeah. We were speaking about my girl. My girl, Tess Warren, and I are about to tear the house down at NWA's Crossfire Wrestling when we are facing Clara Carter and Serena Vale along with Kenzie Page and Kylie Page in a steel cage match. So you should be there and you should be watching.
Yes, that is going to be a banger. Everybody that's been supporting this podcast knows we love Clara. And we love Tess, too. She just doesn't love us back yet. But we're going to get there because of Nikki. We're going to get there. Again, Nikki, thank you so much for joining us. Guys, make sure you do the like, the subscribe, all the stuff. I don't have to tell you what to do. But more importantly, go subscribe to Nikki's, Instagram, Twitter, X, Facebook, Shopify. Go all the things. And if you're near a show she's on, make sure to go check her out. But most importantly, guys, don't forget to call your mom.
If you haven't liked or subscribed, you're going to be joking me.